Hello, Sheldon Gould here with S&N S&N Custom Lawn Care in Gladstone, Manitoba. I just wanted to do a quick update on the update from the storm there in my last video, our early winter storm that we got there in October. This video is more to give a huge thanks to all the hydro workers that have been working for like the last 2 weeks. I want to give a huge thank you to Manitoba Hydro for getting power back up and running, but they also had the help of, there was hydro crews from Ontario, Saskatchewan. I heard there was crews, maybe not so much hydro crews from Alberta, but there was crews that came out to deal with downed trees from Alberta. But when it comes to hydro-wise, it was Manitoba Hydro, Ontario Hydro, Saskatchewan Hydro, and we even had crews come from the United States, Minnesota sent up a bunch of crews as well. We were in Portage La Prairie, Manitoba today, and I witnessed a lot of the hydro trucks. I was sitting in the truck in a parking lot, and I saw probably 50 hydro trucks go by. Manitoba Hydro, a lot of them were Manitoba Hydro. There was a couple that I think were Saskatchewan or Ontario, and they've been working hard. They got, there was 300 and some posts down within north of Portage La Prairie, I think. There was, or not 300, I think there was 3,000 posts down, hydro posts, and I think there was something like 300 of the steel towers knocked down. The Manitoba hydro system has been greatly affected. They brought a lot of power in from nearby communities just to get everybody up and running. When I looked, I saw 55,000 people without power. But apparently there was over 200,000 calls reported of no power. And I just checked now, and there's sitting at about 1,500 people left that still don't have power. So they are getting there. And that's a big accomplishment, considering they went from 200,000 people to 1,500. So I just wanted to do this quick video, give a shout out to all the hydro workers who are out there busy working. I'm not sure what their hours are like, but probably, 24/7. There's been a lot of people in the community donating food to people that don't have power, along with feeding all these hydro men that are from, like I said, Saskatchewan. Hold on, I gotta shut my heater off. The hydro workers are from Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, and even down into Minnesota in the United States. It's taken a lot of people. I can't remember offhand how many people there was, but they were feeding people in about 2 shifts, probably working 12-hour shifts at a time. I think there was 500 or 600 workers come in for a meal at one time. So that's only about half of them. There's been a lot of hotels that have put hydro workers up. A lot of businesses, mainly in the Portage and Southport, Manitoba area, that have accommodated them. Big thank you to everybody that's been involved. And slowly but surely we are getting power back up. But from what I heard, this is going to be a wild winter. It's not a great way to start off the winter, considering it was only about October 10th and we already got the first storm. And we had 30 inches of snow with 4-foot snowbanks. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the winter pans out. But by the sounds of it, it's going to be a lot of snow. And I certainly learned my lesson, considering I'm a snowplow operator. I'm supposed to be plowing people out. I got storm stayed in my own yard. We didn't have power for 3 days, and it was starting to get cold in the house. We were down to 7 degrees Celsius. So it opened my eyes to what I need to get prepared. We need to get some battery operated lights for the house because we were pretty much in darkness, well, for 3 days. The other thing is we had no heat in our house. Our house is heated by furnace, so we didn't have anything other than that. With the power out, it wasn't running. So I'm actually looking at purchasing a couple of maybe some ceramic heaters or those infrared heaters or something like that. I'm also looking at getting a generator. I'm not sure what wattage I'd like to get. I'd like to get something around the 9,000 watt, but we'll see. As long as we could power a light and maybe 1 or 2 heaters if the power does go out over this winter. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to have to save up some money. Snow Fleet, we got everything up and running other than the John Deere X530. Needs snow chains put on it. But yeah, it was kind of an eye-opener. We were lucky it was only down to plus 7 degrees Celsius. What would we do if it was in the middle of winter, down 45, 50 degree weather in the middle of a blizzard? I don't know what we do. So I'm definitely looking in at getting a generator, so at least we have can power a couple of heaters. It's not gonna heat the entire house, but at least we can run a couple of heaters in one room and stay warm. I also have my Mr. Heater, the diesel heater in the shop, but you can't run that in the house because of the emissions that it produces. But at least if we did need heat, we could come out to the shop, fire that up. But yeah, we're definitely not prepared. I live a little ways from town. I'm kind of isolated out in the bush. So definitely gonna be looking into a few things in the next couple of weeks because I don't want to get caught like we were 2 weeks ago in the middle of winter when the temperatures really drop. So we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to give this huge thanks out to all of our hydro workers. Like I said, we got workers from Manitoba Hydro, Saskatchewan Hydro, Ontario Hydro. I believe there's crews out from Alberta. I'm not 100% if they're hydro crews, but there's crews from Alberta out here dealing with downed trees. And we also have hydro crews from Minnesota, United States, even up here helping us. We went to Portage la Prairie, Manitoba today, and even just driving along the road, you could see where poles had been replaced. We saw bundles of hydro posts laying in a ditch being to be replaced. We took a drive through Portage la Prairie. Out by the island there was actually a steel hydro tower that was bent right in half. So yeah, there was a lot of damage. And they've done well to get where they've got. They've got all kinds of equipment. They got tracked equipment. They got skid steers. You name it, they got it out there. And they're still hard at work. Like I said, what I saw, we went from about 55,000 people without power. And tonight I looked just before I did this video, we're down to about 1,500 people without power. So without those guys out there working, putting their lives at risk, dealing in all kinds of weather and road conditions, we wouldn't have power. But those guys put their lives at risk every day, dealing with high voltage power and road conditions. We owe a big thanks to them, along with all the grader operators, plow operators, everybody else that moves snow to get the roads open. There's a lot of companies with graders and skid steers even out tonight dealing with snow, mud, water, you name it. I've seen a couple of pictures with skid steers in the ditches helping hydro put poles up, and the water is like right up to the windows of the cab on the skid steers. So there's a lot of damage done. maybe not so much with the equipment, but there's still damage being done. I'm assuming those skid steers are almost right off because they're right up to the cab with water. Who knows what damage was done, but they do what they got to do. I don't think I could do it. They deal with all kinds of weather conditions, yet they're out there putting power lines back up so that communities can have power. So I just wanted to give this quick shout out to all these hydro workers, and just to thank everybody that's been involved. Even people that are cooking. I think there's been a couple of Hutterite colonies that have actually done a bunch of cooking as well. So big thank you to them. So it's Sheldon Gould with S&N Custom Lawn Care. Just wanted to do this short video. If you like this video, hit the like button. Make sure you share it. If you want to subscribe to our channel, it's S&N Custom Lawn Care on YouTube. We also have a group page for S&N Custom Lawn Care and a page on Facebook. We also have a page and a group on Facebook for my other company, Sonic Sladen Music Productions. If you want to look me up myself, I'm Sheldon Gould Sheldon Gould out of Gladstone, Manitoba. So that's about all I have to say. I just want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to everybody that's been involved and all the hydro workers to get the power back up and running. And they're definitely doing their work. Like I said, we went from, well, when I looked, 55,000, but apparently there was over 200,000 people reported in without power, and it's been a record-breaking power outage for Manitoba Hydro, biggest they've ever had in the history of them. So, yeah, that's about it. So it's Sheldon Gould with S&N Custom Lawn Care in Gladstone, Manitoba. Thanks for watching.